Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to Overdrive's first episode of BeamNG.Drive. Now, we come up with a little mountainous course here today, and we're going to put some hill climb cars to the test. We start off with the Bishu Covette Hill Climb. It is a mod that I've downloaded off the BeamNG site. If you're ever looking for mods, go on to BeamNG.Drive.com, go to their mod section, they're brilliant. Anyway, and we're about to set off and we're off. There we go. So this car is a screamer. It is so noisy, you get deafened. I can't really hear myself. On the brakes up into the first major turn off, second gear for this car. A little bit of understeer because it still has more drive to the front wheel, so you do get a little bit of understeer. However, all in all, a very, very, very planted car, and you can be very quick and still have varying amounts of control whilst going very quick. As you can see here, we're having a bit of trouble over the bumps, but we've managed to gather it all together coming into the braking zone for the next big turn-off. This corner catches me out sometimes because if you brake too late before the crest, you get too much air, and then you miss the corner entirely and wrap yourself around a light post. What I call a little jump, a bit of air from the Covette there, settled it nicely. These next corners are really bumpy, surprisingly tight, but you still can carry quite a lot of speed with the Covette through there. It's a surprisingly good car. I'm really actually impressed with how this car handles. And anyway, we blast towards the line as we roll off and across the line. And we've had a small crash, but we'll gloss over that. Yeah, I mean, this car is a really good car. I was impressed with the way that you could actually get it turned, but yeah, so it's brilliant. Next up, the Bishu Pessima. Now, this is the newer model of the Pessima. It's got a 200BX engine in it. Once again, it's a mod, and we're about to see how quickly this quick car can go. Yep, sounds, yeah, okay. So the way this car makes its speed is in gear ratios, and the gear ratios are useless. Anyway, up into the first major corner here, second gear, little bit of dirt on the way in. This car didn't feel as stable, and I think it's because we didn't have quite as much aero as we did with the Covette. Well, that's what it felt like anyway, because you're getting quite a bit of air. I mean, once again, they're all very evenly matched, but this car just didn't feel quite as strong as what the Covette did. And also, I had to get on the brakes a lot earlier for this next corner, which even then I still sort of kind of missed it. As we blast through the tunnel here, fourth gear down to third. Jump it across there, little jump into fourths, carry fourths through here. Oh yeah, we carried fourth, which is good. Still moving very quick, 142 kilometers an hour up through there then. Heading towards the finish line, foot's back in the bucket and across the line. And I got the fence, brick wall slightly. Yeah, so the whole idea of the end of this track is to actually get the car stopped before ploughing into a building. All of these vehicles would be quicker if I just went ahead and got on the brakes as I got to the barriers and ploughed it headlong into the wall. But I didn't really want to do that because I thought, well, it's always nice to have a relatively decent car. Up next is the older version of the Pessima. This is roughly 1989, this car, well, supposedly by BeamNG. Big powerful engine, and once again I've put this car is the first car that's actually been produced by BeamNG.Drive. I put a livery on it, but we're off. This car lacked a little bit of top line speed, I think, and I think being older definitely didn't help matters. As we fly up towards the first major corner here, we sort of got it turned. Actually, it didn't turn too bad. But yeah, this car, I don't know why, but it just didn't feel quite as nice, and it wasn't as fast. It wasn't as quick in a straight line, I feel. I think you didn't have the feeling in the car that you could carry a lot of speed over all these bumps. I think that was, you know, one of the major problems. But then we're on the brakes for the bridge section down towards the port. Bit of a jump over the edge. That definitely cost me a little bit of time there, but that's all good. Back on the throttle, 4th gear, 5th gear, down to 4th, over the crest there. Back on the kahunas. Run 4th through here, I think. Did get a little bit of understeer, but we managed to keep it in check as we fly towards the port. Very quick as well, surprisingly. I mean, it did understeer a bit. Coming up towards the line as we roll off and across the line. Yeah, all in all, this wasn't a bad car. You can see we're about to celebrate doing some reverse doughies for a bit. Yeah, it wasn't a bad car. Just wasn't quick. It wasn't as quick in a straight line. Yeah, hard to tell. But it didn't feel as fast in a straight line. Up next is probably the best hill climb car you can get in BeamNG. The SBR4. Once again, this is a BeamNG developed car, and I've put a modded livery on it to make it look like an race car, and yeah, I expect this thing to wipe the floor with the competition. But we'll find out as it sets off in a big plume of smoke. This thing was still spinning the wheels as we plucked 4th gear. That's how much power this car's got. It actually really struggled down into the first major corner. And yeah, this car felt like most of the power was going to the rear, so it was a little bit different to what I was actually driving earlier, because they were all cars that had most of the power to the front, so you'd actually get quite a bit of understeer. This car felt a lot more balanced, and it actually felt like you could drive it quicker. Obviously up through here, no cars ever... If I ever jump a car far enough and get it stopped in time, it'll be a modern day miracle. So, under the tunnel, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear. I bumped the fence actually a little bit there, which didn't help matters. Over the little jump, really pulled to the right, which sort of indicated to me that my bump against the wall didn't help the car at all. 3rd gear, we run through here. I think, yeah, we just hold it in 3rd because the thing by this stage isn't steering brilliantly. As we tip it into the final corner, run down the hill and across the line as we pop a tyre on the lip for some unknown reason. Yeah, tremendously quick, this SBR 4. Tremendously fast, and you know, it's just a joy to drive. Could have done without bumping the wall, but that's all good. Okay, up next is the Hiroshi once again, but this time it's the Sunburst. Once again, BeamNG.Drive developed. I've put a modded livery on it. But yes, so I expect this thing to be pretty quick as well, being BeamNG developed, and we're off. This car, it performed, I felt like it performed really well. Still, apart from that, yeah, so it didn't like that corner, but we'll gloss over that. That was the first crash I had. So we're off again. Thought I'd leave that one in there because it's like, how the hell did it manage to do that? But anyway, so we come flying up here again. I was wary this time that I knew that if I took too much I was going to go and tip over, and nearly tipped it over. That cost me a lot of time because that was so close to rolling over that it wasn't funny. I don't know why I was doing it. I could run all the other cars through there and not roll it. I think, yeah, just the way the car's set up. The thing was basically maxed in 4th gear across the bumps. Did actually get to 5th for a moment then. Coming up to the braking zone, we're already in 3rd gear. For some reason I was in 4th again. Bumped the wrong button with the controller, I think. Through the bridge. And into 3rd for the jump. Got quite a bit of air over the little jump this time. Run 3rd gear through here. Just held it in 4th for a bit, just to get it settled, and 3rd, sorry, and flicked into fourth and back to third again for the final section. Down through the final kink, flat to the floorboards in third gear, and across the line. Once again, I sort of messed that up slightly. Sunburst was good. Yeah, felt pretty stable apart from that slight roll. And I sort of broke the car, but apart from that, it felt pretty good, I guess. Yeah, it felt good. Up next is my creation, ladies and gentlemen. It is an ETK I-Series Hill Climb Edition that I built out of a standard ETK 2400. Now, this has got a modded engine, modded aerodynamics. But apart from that, it is all standard ETK race suspension setup, and it's the ETK 6-speed race transmission. Let's see how it gets on, and we're off. This car, I did actually have to play with the gear ratios quite a bit, and I also found that once you got to 7,000 RPM, it just stopped producing power. But yeah, the 4.1 litre inline 6 engine really performed well, I felt, for this task. I did originally have a yeah, it was a big block 423 or something V8 out of the Barstow in it. But the best thing about this car is you could be basically flat. That whole section there was basically flat on the throttle, and it felt like it was really gonna get stopped. I mean, I did mess that up slightly, but you know, we ran a little bit wide, unfortunately. I felt that I could have probably got it to go a little bit faster had we not have run wide. Through here it really struggled. The amount of understeer was just incredible. Like, you turn, luckily I got that time turned in, but then the amount of understeer that it picked up through here. We're hard back on the gas as we fly towards the finish, and we're across it with a huge crash. But that's okay, the thing's a bit broken, but I will tell you now, it took me a long time to get that run in, how quick it was. As we go for some broken backwards doughies. For some reason, I don't know whether or not it's just because it's actually a race suspension setup, but it would spear you off the road whenever it possibly could. As you can tell, we did end up getting over that problem and putting in a relatively decent lap time. But now for the results. Yes, you heard right, the results. And here they are. The SBR4 did it in a 113.9. My homemade ETK I-Series was second on a 114.20. The Hirochi Sunburst was third, 114.4. The Covet was next on 114.42, very close between those two cars. Fifth was the Pessima Hill Climb with a 116, and then in sixth was the old Pessima Hill Climb with a 116.85. Well, thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned to my channel for, you know, GTA 5, BeamNG, Apex 6, whatever you want, really. Leave it in the comments what videos you'd like me to do. And until next time, I'll see you later.